Hello everyone, today we're going to paint some flowers I got from the farmer's market over the weekend and into some tiny frames that I thrifted. I thought this one matches the flowers, so here we go. So here are some scrap pieces of paper that I have from larger paintings that I've done and cut out little segments. I knew it'd be perfect for projects like these. Here are my supplies. I'm going to use my Moleskine Sketchbook as a backing, sort of like a board. And this is another tin. Oh, it's what I think I thrifted this as well. And I don't know what to do with it. I just thought it was really cute. And later I figured out, I was like, oh, I could put my paints in there. So my gouache goes in one tin and my watercolor tubes goes in another. Yeah, there are various brands that I got from over the years. And I really don't have a preference for either. I'm starting to collect certain brands for watercolor. Instead of measuring out exactly the painting size, I just was lazy and did a little bit tracing with the mat that came with the frame. And this is my tape from Daiso, and all my brushes at the ready, even though in the end I only used one brush. I tried to be a florist and made my little bouquet. The purple ones are called Bachelor's Button, and the pink were peonies I got from my garden. Well, my Strata's garden. Shh, don't tell them. And taped on the top of the tin, I don't know if you could tell, is my color chart. So that's my little cheat sheet for how the colors will look like on paper. The packaging doesn't really tell you all the time, especially the blues. I have so many blues collected that I really don't know what they look like. Right now I still probably can't tell you, so I need that little chart there to remember. What I was doing is a little thumbnail. I wanted to try and put what I have imagined in my head, the composition, onto paper. It keeps me on track. The Sharpie was just to grasp the best composition. Here we go. What I like to do in the beginning is do big washes just to get the silhouette down or the placement of where I want things. Since this is a flower painting, I think we could get away with a lot of big washes and beautiful abstract ways. Well, this is gouache, but I know I use it kind of like watercolor. It's the way I like to paint. I think the gouache helps later when I can be a bit more opaque. I think the two materials could be pretty interchangeable. Remember to stand back and look at the details, the amount of details. It's so easy to go into too much details with flower painting because there's so many little petals and details. That's beautiful and I want to capture it, but you can't, and that's too much for a painting. It's not a photograph, so you have to make artistic choices, and overall you still have to think about where the shadows are, the overall structure of the circle, sphere, shadows on the bottom, or whatever your flowers are. And since peonies are pretty round, so it was easy to figure out where I want the shadows to be, which petals are going to be the dark, and capture the little details with white gouache in the very end. For any of these watery type color type paintings, the white is always going to be the brightest with the paper. You can block out using masking fluid, but that tends to be a little bit more complicated when you're on the go. You don't have the time to do all that. So I did use white gouache for the highlights, but those are not as bright. The white with paint becomes actually bluish, and I use that effect to draw petals that's more in the distance, or maybe capturing the sky blue. Any color more desaturated is more bluish, which helps for the further, like I said, the distant petals. So if you know what you're doing, make sure you keep that in mind. The brightest thing on the paper is always going to be your paper white, unless you get rid of all of that and you use the white as your highlight. That also, of course, works. But this is a fast painting, and the effect I wanted to do was more gestural effect of the beautifulness of the flower. I did use dark green to make the pink pop. Any color on its own is not as strong as it can be when there's an accent color to bring it out. And also the flower is so light color that you needed some dark to really give it a final punch. Oh, hi cat. I think this painting took maybe about 2 hours or 3, I can't remember, and maybe that's longer than it should have been. I did get into too much details with the petals in some areas, but overall I still was able to keep it simplified I like it. Let me know if you enjoy watching that. I enjoy filming this thing, even though, sorry, it was a little bit off camera and very new at this. Please forgive me. But it helped me keep focused, so maybe I'll make more. Let me know what you'd like to see next. Oh yeah, I put a little tape behind the painting onto the mat because I hate it when you hang up a print and it gets shifted when you hang it up. Yeah, you could go find little cute frames from the thrift store yourself. Let me know if you have any cool finds. What do you see in your local store, and what little paintings do you put in it? Thanks for watching.